Honorable Mr. Fafa Sanyang, Minister of Energy and Petroleum of Gambia, organizers of the event, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It's a great honor to be invited to address such a distinguished audience gathered here today at the Africa Oil and Power Conference, which recognizes as Africa's premier platform for energy investment and policy. We all share the common objective of facilitating the crucial investment that will power Africa's economies, build communities, and shape societies to bring greater prosperity and opportunity across the continent. Now, here is the contribution that the energy industry can make to civil society and economic development greater than in Somalia. At the end of last month, our President, Mohamed Abdullahi Mohamed Farmajo, addressed the United Nations General Assembly in New York. He said that our country is the perfect example of success of the multinational system in bringing greatly enhanced stability and economic development. The energy sector represented here today will play a huge role in building on the progress by ensuring long-term sustainable development and poverty reduction, as well as the continued development of stable state and civil institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, the key aims of my ministry are to develop Somalia's energy sector for the benefit of its people and to ensure that the regulatory and fiscal framework we are establishing is highly attractive to international investors. The opportunity is huge. Somalia is a nation rich in hydrocarbon. Geological structures indicate that the potential is at least as significant as neighboring basins located in Seychelles, Madagascar, Kenya, Tanzania, and Mozambique. As a result, Somalia could become one of the most significant oil plays in offshore East Africa, which is why we are already attracting very significant interest from oil and gas majors. The Petroleum Law, passed in May of this year, was a key landmark in enabling us to progress the exploration and development of this potentially enormous resource. My ministry worked successfully with the 6 federal member states and Banaadir Regional State Administration to develop an equitable and transparent framework for development focused on the greater good of Somalia and its people, whilst ensuring that we are highly competitive internationally to attract investment by developing returns that are considered with the risks and rewards of developing our offshore industry. Ladies and gentlemen, our central objective is to be wholly transparent with all our international partners and to the Somali people as we embark on this journey. The revenue sharing agreement preserved in the Petroleum Law mandates how future revenues from the development of the industry will be shared between the federal government and the federal member states and their local communities. It is for each member state through their elected representatives to decide on how their share of revenues are to be invested. Overall, the revenue sharing agreement delivers a significant high percentage of potential revenues to non-federal institutions than any comparable national petroleum revenues sharing agreement around the world. This provides an equitable and stable basis on which to develop to industry, commanding the broadest possible support across the country. This agreement has now been road tested with our first, even though small, revenue represented by rental payments from Exxon and Shell, which are in the process of being shared between the federal government and the federal member states and local communities in line with the stipulation of the agreement. These take account of the social and environmental issues that development and production can involve, whilst recognizing the crucial role that revenue could play in the revitalization of the economy by providing the resources to further rebuild security institutions and infrastructure. In order to ensure that production stages is reached, the ministry is now embarking on roadshows where potential investors will have the opportunity to look at the exploration and development opportunities available in Somalia. This includes seismic data recently shot by Spectrum covering 20,185 kilometers. The current license round is in respect to up to 15 blocks covering total of approximately 75,000 square kilometers. The bid round will follow shortly after to ensure that the world knows Somalia is open for business. The production sharing agreement, which applies to the offshore oil exploration and development, provides highly attractive regulatory and fiscal framework that is both competitive and equitable for both the people of Somalia and international oil companies. By equitably linking royalty and share of revenue closely to the price of oil, the Somalia Production Sharing Agreement ensures that international oil companies can recover their upfront development costs and earn fair share profit even if oil prices fall, whilst maximizing the profit going to the Somalia people. The Production Sharing Agreement is designed to maximize fees and bonuses to give the growing state the financial sources needed to rebuild the country sooner rather than later. We believe that the PSA is amongst the most attractive ones in investors in frontier exploration business. In looking all that we have achieved so far, we understand that we have a lot ahead of us still to do. But Somalia will prosper despite the many setback achievements and challenges we may face. Our goal is to proceed in the best interest of Somali people, which will only happen if we ensure an attractive regulatory and fiscal environment for our international partners. We will commit to being transparent and open about dealings. Ladies and gentlemen, next month we will be in Houston, USA, showcasing our new model production sharing agreement as we prepare to invite applications for exploration licenses. It is coincidence that Somalia's land mass is the same as Texas, but we are not doubt that the energy industry's impact on the development of our country could be every bit as great as it was in Texas a century ago. At the time that expanding industry delivered excellent returns to its shareholders, whilst financing investment in everything from world-class infrastructure to high-skilled jobs and education. This is a pattern we believe will be repeated in my country over the coming years and decades. This is a new chapter in Somalia's history. Somalia is open for business. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister Abdul Rashid from Somalia. Now is our panel discussion. This is National Oil Companies Driving Development.